Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Screamin'. Welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and Witch Queen Season of Plunder intel. And in this video, I'm going to be taking a slightly more in-depth look at XP and power farming. Grandmasters are right around the corner, and I'm sure everybody is trying to get to 1600. So, if you're somebody who has watched my channel previously, some of these things might look a little bit familiar, though there will be some new methods. But I always get comments asking for a little bit more description on where I might be, exactly what methods I might be using to do some of these farms. So we're going to cover all of those things. The very first farm I'd like to talk about isn't actually one of the best ones. We're going to kind of go from the least efficient to the most efficient, though some of these might be available for free-to-play players, and some of them you might actually have to own a season, so keep that in mind. The first one is for free-to-play players, however, and that is in the Preservation Mission. Now, at the beginning of the Preservation Mission, you will get infinite adds, though you still have the Shadow of Savathun shooting at you. So long as you don't actually defeat her in this zone, you will continue to just be able to kill adds as long as you want. So with the right subclass or the right weapons, you could farm out XP here, power here, as well as other things like red border weapons and stuff like that. Definitely not the most efficient, since you do have, of course, Savathun shooting at you, but not a bad one since it is good for free-to-play players. The next one is on the moon, and it also is for free-to-play players, though I will say for this one you're going to need a macro to really make it the most efficient thing possible, so I would maybe advise against it, though it is still not the worst. I would say a little bit better than the Preservation, simply because it's a little bit easier. You don't have to worry about taking damage. You can just kind of deal damage out, kill waves of adds, but it's another infinite add spawn. Some of you might have used it before. Load into the Sanctuary and head down this way. We will be coming back to this spot later for what I believe is probably the best XP power farm in the game currently, and something that I will suggest everybody do one way or another once we get to it. Head down into the Hall of Wisdoms. You can run past most of these adds, take a left, clear out the adds in this room, and then run up to this tunnel. Now, when you back up too far in this tunnel, a new group of adds will spawn directly there in the middle. With Roaring Flames on your grenade launcher or on your baby hammer, you can actually farm out those adds in the middle for quite a long period of time, as the Roaring Flames will just continue to kill them over and over and over again. If you spec into things that give you more grenades, or if you put on a mod that allows you to get grenade energy back simply by expending your grenade, you can be here for quite a while fairly easily. The only thing about that is, like I said, you might need a macro so that you don't get kicked back to orbit. The other one is in the Operation Medee's Quest. Now you want to do this all the way till the very end, when you have to scan the robot statue. Once you do that, you'll then be able to set up an AFK farm, which I've actually talked about once when this actually first came out, but I don't think I've really covered it again since then. It's probably the second most efficient farm. I do believe you will have to have owned last season's DLC in order to do this, so it's not for all free-to-play players, but I'm sure most people still have this DLC. Scan the giant robot, kill this wave of adds in this opening room, but we will proceed outside of this room. You'll know when to leave when the giant yellow bar cabal arrive. For this farm again, we're going to be using Roaring Flames. Simply head down the hallway until you reach the second group of spawning Cabal. You could go to the third or the first, but I actually think the second group is the best. As you can see, you get a slightly more regular group of spawns in this area. Head up here, proc Roaring Flames. And what I like to do is I actually just like to throw my hammer either at the wall directly behind me on occasion or at the ground, just to keep it going. You will have an extended period where adds just spawn in and continually feed Roaring Flames, though they will eventually spawn slightly outside of the circle. So you want to kind of extend that circle of roaring Flames as much as possible. Simply by throwing your hammer at the wall seems to do this, but once done, you can kind of just sit here. AFK farming, if you can set up an infinite emote, a looped emote, those are just emotes that repeat the same pattern over and over again. You can be here for 15-20 minutes at a time. And the last one, in my opinion, the very best XP power farm currently in the game, is through the old In the Deep mission. Again, you'll load into the sanctuary. We're almost going to be going to the same place we just were, but we're going to be loading into the mission just before we actually go down into the caverns. Now, this mission is available on rotation occasionally for the weekly mission on the moon. It was last week. I'm sure it will be in the next week or two. But if you're someone like me and doesn't want to wait around for a specific week to actually farm this, you can set up an infinite farm that will even survive seasonal resets simply by doing the campaign mission from start. Now, if you've done it on all three characters, then you would have to start a new character. That's why people don't do that this often, and they just wait around for the week for it to arrive. Fair enough. If you don't want to start a new character, or if you have done it on all three, it's very reasonable to just wait around for a week for it to actually be available and then just go in and farm it. But if you're like me and you want to do it all the time, you can just start a new character and you will have it forever. Once you get to this part of this particular mission where you have to scan the lectern, normally you would be required to run out of this area. You're going to stay in the area where you scan the lectern, turn around, jump onto that rock that you saw me jump on, and then you will have infinite thrall in this area. Again, proc Roaring Flames, and you can sit here for a very extended period of time, and the amount of ads that you will be getting here far exceeds any of the other farms that I discussed. And because they're all sort of drawn to the one point, you never have to worry about your Roaring Flames not proccing. It will continually just feed itself over and over again for as long as you want. Hours. Nothing beyond proccing it once and you're set to go. Set up a looped emote, and again, you should be good for 15 minutes at a time. So if there's something else you have to do, you can at least keep this kind of on in the background and just check on it occasionally. And that's going to be it for all the information in today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. There is a couple other farms that I haven't really had the opportunity to get around to testing myself yet, but there are a couple more that I probably will bring in another video later on. But for now, hopefully this helps you hit 1600 power before Grandmasters actually become available. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on the bell, the post notifications, so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 Witch Queen Season of Plunder content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. Also remember, any of those things I just mentioned enter you into any future giveaways on this YouTube channel, and I do one every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. And if you've watched to this point in the video, you can leave a hashtag Season of Plunder in the comments section down below for another entry into the next giveaway for this video. And remember those secret hashtags. I do them on all videos. So if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, you can always go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. And once more, I am Wilhelm Scream. We will see you next time. Little.